Hi, tonight from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got a record to play for you. Today, record The Three Little Pigs for 1977. So let's get started.
Once upon a time, in a little straw house near a pretty pond, lived three little pigs called Bill, Buster, and Chuck. Billy and Chuck were bigger than Buster and always tried to push him around, especially when they played together.
Come on, Chuck. Let's get Buster to play with us so we can push him into the pond.
Oh, yes, that sounds like fun. We can play Catch Me If You Can, and we'll let Buster be it. And when he runs after one of us, the other will run in back of him. Then when we run near the pond, whoever is in back will push him in.
Little Buster was minding his own business, making a sand castle in the sand, and talking about the world with his friend Robin Redbreast.
Robin, how did the king become a king? Can you tell me?
I really don't know, Buster, except that as far back as I can remember, kings have always been kings because they are very brave.
I wish I were a king, so that I could wear a royal robe with a golden crown upon my head.
But you just can't wish to be a king. A king has to earn his crown by being brave. After all, he rules a whole kingdom of people, and he must be smart so that he can help them out of danger when it comes.
But how do you become brave, Robin? How do you get that way?
You must learn by yourself. If everyone knew the secret of how to be brave, we would all be brave, and that wouldn't be right.
Hey, Buster, what are you doing? Why don't you come and play Catch Me If You Can?
I am talking about the world with Robin Redbreast, and I don't want to play a silly game.
We will talk again, Buster. I really must be on my way, so why don't you run and play?
Okay. It was nice seeing you, Robin. Come back soon.
Oh, I will, Buster. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Robin Redbreast. Okay, I'll play with you, but only if you promise not to push me into the pond.
Of course not, Buster. We wouldn't do a terrible thing like that, would we, Billy?
Oh, no. Don't be silly, Buster. Come on, play with us.
So Buster joined Billy and Chuck in a game of Catch Me If You Can.
Let's let Buster be the catcher. If you tag one of us, Buster, then that one will be the catcher.
So little Buster tried to catch Chuck first, since he was a little fatter and a little slower than Billy. Billy quietly ran in back of Buster, and when they neared the edge of the pond, he gave Buster a push, and into the water went Buster with a great big splash.
Oh, you promised you wouldn't push me into the water, and you did. You know that the pond is cold, and the water stays in my ears so that it can't hear.
Billy and Chuck laughed and laughed at Buster splashing about in the water. When Buster came out of the water, he jumped up and down, turning his head to one side and then to the other, trying to get the water out of his ears.
Look at Buster. He looks so funny jumping up and down with his head to the side.
He looks silly, dilly, willy.
And Billy and Chuck kept right on laughing at Buster while he tried to get the water out of his ears. The three little pigs didn't know it, but right behind the great tree, watching them and licking his chops, was Wolfgang Wolf. He was looking all morning for something to eat, and when he saw the three little pigs, he said,
At last I've found a tasty meal. 3 pigs will do just fine. I'll roast them all till they're well done and serve them with some wine.
Now Buster Pig made friends with many bunny rabbits that lived in the woods. The bunny rabbits liked Buster Pig because he would play with them and bring them carrots to eat. It just so happened that Rufus Rabbit was taking his usual run around the forest when he saw Wolfgang Wolf licking his chops behind the great tree where the three little pigs were playing.
Buster! Buster, watch out! Wolfgang Wolf is behind the great tree, and he's going to eat you and your brothers all up.
But Buster didn't hear Rufus calling to him because he still had water in his ears and was trying very hard to get it out.
Who said that? I don't see anything at all. What wolf?
Rufus ran over to Buster and lightly bit his leg so that he would see Wolfgang Wolf. And just as he did, all the water came pouring out of Buster's ears and splashed all over Rufus Chuck thought this was very funny and laughed and laughed. Just then, Wolfgang Wolf leaped out from behind the trees and caught Chuck by his tail.
I've got you by the tail. Oh, what a lucky day. And now to catch the other two before they get away.
Billy and Buster were so startled at seeing the wolf that they just stood still. But little Rufus Rabbit had an idea. He knew he was the fastest runner in the whole forest and could outrun Wolfgang Wolf any time. So he tried to look as tempting as he could by darting back and forth in front of him. Wolfgang licked his chops 3 times and tried to grab Rufus. And just as he almost did, Rufus ran in another direction.
I'll get you. Just wait and see. You can't run as fast as me.
And Wolfgang let go of Chuck's tail and started running after Rufus. Pretty soon, Wolfgang Wolf was out of sight, and the 3 little pigs were left alone and safe.
Wow! Did you see what big teeth that wolf has? He has the biggest, longest, whitest teeth I've ever seen.
He almost ate me up.
Oh, he did not. He was just trying to scare you. I'm not afraid of him, even if he does have big white teeth.
If it wasn't for my friend Rufus Rabbit, we would all be eaten up by the wolf, Billy, and you know it.
Oh, no, he wouldn't. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of a silly old wolf. I'm not afraid at all. I don't care if his teeth are long. I don't care if he's tall. I don't care if he growls and growls. I don't care if he howls and howls. I'm not afraid of a silly old wolf. I'm not afraid at all.
So Billy and Chuck went right on with their laughing and playing as though nothing had happened at all. Buster went back to the little straw house to think a while. And just as he was about to turn the knob of the door, along came Rufus Rabbit, quite out of breath.
Oh my goodness, goodness me. That was quite a chase, Buster Pig. I nearly got caught.
Well, thank you, Rufus Rabbit, for saving us. If it wasn't for you, we would all be gobbled up by that terrible wolf.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could be of help.
Rufus, I'm afraid. Now that the wolf knows where we live, I'm sure he'll come back and try to catch us. What should we do?
Rufus Rabbit didn't know quite what to do, so he decided to ask his friend the North Wind, who had helped him at times like this in the past.
North Wind, tell me what to do. The 3 little pigs need advice from you. Wolfgang Wolf tried to catch them today, and maybe the next time they won't get away. Please, Mr. Wind, I must think of a way so the 3 little pigs can go out and play.
A house made of straw and a house made of sticks will not be as strong as a house made of bricks. So keep this in mind, and you'll never go wrong. When a wolf huffs and puffs, he can be very strong.
The next day, Buster Pig went to the store to buy some bricks and cement for the new house. He asked Billy and Chuck if they would help him, but they only laughed at Buster and ran to play and sing beneath the great tree.
Why should we waste our time building a brick house when we can play and sing? Anyway, we already live in a house of straw.
I know, but I'm afraid. Maybe we should help Buster build his house of bricks.
Oh, you're a scaredy cat. I'm staying in our own straw house. It takes too much time to build another one.
We could build a house of sticks. It's much stronger than straw, and we can do it in half the time.
Well, if you want to, go ahead. But I won't help you.
So Chuck went to the store and bought some strong sticks for his new house. He lined them up in a row and began to build. Buster had already been working on his brick house for some time. Billy, just as he said he would, did not help anyone, but sat under the great tree and watched Chuck and Buster. And Wolfgang Wolf watched all 3 of the little pigs and laughed
because he knew that he would blow their houses down with one huff and one big puff.
I'll wait until they've built their house, and then I'll have my fun. I'll sneak upon them like a mouse, then eat them one by one.
Billy was getting bored sitting under the great tree. He decided to go fishing and thought he might ask Chuck to go along with him.
Come fishing with me. It'll be much more fun than building your old stick house. Our straw house is strong enough. The wolf will never be able to catch us once we're inside it.
I'm not so sure. It will only take a little while to build this house of sticks, and I'll feel much safer after it's done. Then I will come and play with you.
So Chuck worked all alone while Billy went fishing. And in a very short time, the house of sticks was finished. And off Chuck went to find Billy. And they spent the rest of the afternoon playing all kinds of wonderful games together. On their way home, they stopped to watch Buster, who was still working very hard on his brick house. For a brick house takes much longer to build than a house of sticks.
Buster, why don't you come and play with us? I have finished building my house of sticks. It's very strong. We don't need a brick house.
But Buster just smiled and went on working. He didn't mind at all.
Go let them sing and play all day, but when the wolf comes, I'll be safe and they won't. A house of straw and a house of sticks could never be as strong as a house of bricks.
By the next morning, Buster was finally finished. His strong little brick house glowed pink in the sun. Buster stood back to look at it, and he was very pleased with what he had done. He went into his new little house and locked the door behind him, knowing that the wolf would never be able to get inside. Wolfgang Wolf had waited in the forest all night. He was getting hungrier and hungrier, and his stomach was growling so loudly that it sounded as if Wolfgang Wolf himself was growling.
Silly little piggies 3, to think they'll get the best of me. It's morning. I can see the sun. I'm ready now to have my fun.
And out of the forest came Wolfgang, and he went right up to Billy Pig's straw house and knocked on the door and said,
Let me in, little piggy, let me in, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
Billy was very frightened, but he wouldn't give in.
No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
So Wolfgang Wolf stepped back, and he took a great big breath, and he huffed and he puffed, and in less than a moment he blew Billy's straw house in. And there stood Billy all alone, with just a few pieces of straw around his feet. He took one look at the wolf and ran as fast as his little feet could carry him to Chuck's house made of sticks, and he knocked on the door.
Who's there?
It's me, Billy. Let me in. The wolf is here. He just blew my house in.
Chuck quickly opened the door just in time, for Wolfgang Wolf almost had Billy by the tail.
Little piggies, let me in, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
No, not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin.
So the wolf huffed and he puffed till he blew the house in. Wolfgang looked at Billy and Chuck and licked his chops.
2 little piggies, how tempting, how nice. I'll roast you and cook you and stuff you with rice.
Billy and Chuck ran as fast as their little legs could carry them to Buster's house and knocked on his door.
Buster, let us in. The wolf has blown our houses in and is coming to eat us up. Please, Buster, please. He's almost here.
So Buster opened the door and let them in, just as Wolfgang Wolf almost had Chuck and Billy by their tails.
Piggies, let me come in. I'll snort and I'll growl till my hair stands on end, and I'll huff and I'll puff till I blow your house in.
No, not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin.
So Wolfgang Wolf huffed
and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, but he couldn't blow the little brick house in. Now Wolfgang Wolf was getting very hungry and very angry, and he wasn't about to walk away without fighting for his dinner. So he climbed up to the rooftop of the little brick house to see if there was a way to climb inside the house from the top. The three little pigs heard the wolf walking around on the roof and didn't know what he was up to.
He must be looking for a way to get into the house.
He can't. There isn't any way of getting in at all.
Oh, yes, there is. He can come down the chimney.
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
Now stop crying, both of you, and let me think.
So Buster thought and thought and thought. He thought about the wolf and the chimney and what he could do.
Why don't we put something over the chimney so the wolf can't climb down?
And how would you put something over the chimney?
Well, I'll go right up on the roof.
And walk straight into Wolfgang Wolf's arms. That's just what he'd like you to do.
Buster, you're the smart one. You build a brick house while we play. You tell us what to do.
And then suddenly Buster had an idea, a great idea, an idea he was sure would work. He went to his great big cupboard and opened the door. And inside was a great big black pot.
Now, Billy, you carry one end and Chuck, you take the other, and I'll hold the middle. We'll put this pot right on top of the fire under the chimney.
Now the pot was bigger than all of the three little pigs, but they pushed and they shoved and they pushed and they shoved some more. And finally they put the pot right on top of the fire.
Now we must fill the pot with water.
And so the three little pigs ran back and forth, filling all the pots and glasses in the house with water and emptying them into the big black pot. And finally the pot was full, right up to its very top. And soon the pot began to bubble and boil. Meanwhile, the wolf was walking around and around the chimney, getting hungrier and angrier as each moment passed. Finally, he went all the way back to the edge of the roof and made a mighty leap straight into the chimney. And he fell down, 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 right into the big black boiling pot of water with a big kerplop. Buster quickly put the lid on the pot, and that was the end of Wolfgang Wolf. So Billy and Chuck never made fun of Buster again, and all three of them lived happily in the little brick house together.
So that was the Three Little Pigs for 1977. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.